Most people want to move on after a breakup, but what they really crave is an upgrade, someone better, someone who makes their ex look like a warm-up act. But here's the truth. Attracting someone better isn't about finding a new person, it's about becoming a new version of yourself. Most men rush to replace instead of rebuild. They chase attention instead of regaining power. They want validation instead of transformation. And that's why they end up attracting the same kind of relationship, just with a different face. But not you. You're about to learn how to shift that energy, how to rebuild your confidence, and how to become the kind of man that naturally draws higher quality people into his life. Because when you elevate yourself, your options elevate with you. This isn't about revenge or proving a point. It's about rising so high that your ex wouldn't even recognize the man she left. Today, I'll show you exactly how to attract someone better after a breakup, not through games, but through power, presence, and complete self-mastery. Point 1. Stop trying to replace. Start rebuilding. The biggest mistake people make after a breakup is rushing to replace what they lost. They panic at the silence, feel the emptiness, and try to fill it with the next person who gives them attention. But here's the truth. When you rush to replace, you attract the same energy you just escaped from. Because you're still the same person. You haven't changed. You've just changed the face in front of you. That's why most rebound relationships crash fast. They're built on fear, not strength. You're not choosing someone new. You're running from pain. The real move is to rebuild, not replace. This is your reset phase. The breakup isn't punishment. It's an opportunity to reinvent yourself. Every ounce of pain you feel right now can become power if you use it right. Most people numb it with distractions, scrolling, or fake validation. But strong men do the opposite. They sit in the fire and let it forge them into something new. You don't chase another person to feel wanted. You rebuild yourself until you become someone no one can walk away from again. That's how you upgrade your life, your energy, and your next relationship. Here's the mindset shift. Stop thinking, I lost her. Start thinking, I found myself. You have to rebuild your frame, your confidence, your focus, your discipline. Hit the gym not to show her what she lost, but to remind yourself what you're capable of. Chase goals, not people. Reconnect with your mission, not your memories. Because when you're focused on growth, your energy changes. You stop needing validation, and that shift alone makes you magnetic. Remember this. You can't attract better until you become better. Energy doesn't lie. If you're still broken inside, you'll attract broken. But if you rebuild from strength, peace, and self-worth, you'll draw someone who matches that energy, someone who values what you've built. That's why this first step is so powerful. It's not about getting someone new, it's about becoming someone new. And when you rebuild instead of replace, the right person doesn't just appear by accident. They're pulled into your orbit because your energy commands it. Point 2, turn pain into power breakups. Either destroy you or redefine you. Most men let the pain break them. They spiral, lose focus, and drown in regret. They replay every memory, stalk social media, and wonder what they could have done differently. That's weakness disguised as reflection. The truth is, pain after a breakup isn't meant to cripple you. It's meant to fuel you. Every ounce of hurt, rejection, and silence is pure energy. You just have to decide where to direct it. You can waste it chasing her shadow, or you can use it to build the man she could never handle. Pain is the most honest mirror you'll ever face. It shows you where you were soft, where you ignored red flags, where you lost yourself trying to please someone else. If you have the courage to confront that, pain becomes power. Because now, instead of running from it, you're using it as momentum. Every rep at the gym, every late-night grind, every boundary you enforce, that's your transformation in motion. You stop being a victim of heartbreak and start being the man who used heartbreak as his breakthrough. Here's the mindset. Don't escape your pain. Absorb it, study it, weaponize it. Every time your mind drifts back to her, do something that improves you. Lift heavier, work harder, learn faster. That emotional fire that once burned you can now build you if you channel it right. Most men waste that energy texting, begging, or numbing themselves with distractions. The strong ones turn it into discipline. They rise early, move with purpose, and live like their future self is watching. And here's the paradox. When you turn your pain into progress, people start to notice. Your glow changes, your posture changes, you no longer carry the weight of desperation, you radiate direction. And that's when someone better appears. Not because you chased them, but because your new energy demands someone who matches your level. Pain no longer defines you, it refines you. So remember this, heartbreak isn't your ending, it's your evolution. You can let it break your confidence, or you can let it sharpen your character. The man who learns to turn pain into power becomes unstoppable, and the world, including your next partner, will feel that energy long before you ever say a word. Point 3. Cut off the emotional leaks. After a breakup, most men say they've moved on, but their actions prove otherwise. They still check her stories, still scroll through old messages, still replay conversations in their mind. That's not moving on. That's leaking energy. Every time you revisit her social media, every time you read those old texts, every time you talk about her to friends, you're giving pieces of your power away. You're feeding the past and starving your future. And as long as you do that, you'll never attract someone better, because deep down, you're still emotionally tied to what broke you. Here's the truth. Healing requires disconnection, not distraction. You can't build a new chapter while reading the old one every night. Emotional leaks are silent killers. They keep you in limbo, stuck between who you were and who you could become. The moment you stop checking, stop hoping, stop replaying, your energy begins to reset. That's when your focus sharpens. That's when your confidence returns. You start noticing new people, new opportunities, new experiences that were invisible before because your attention was trapped in the past. You need to go on a detox, not just from her, but from every reminder of her. Delete the chats, mute her socials, stop stalking her friends' stories. This isn't about bitterness, it's about boundaries. You're cutting off what drains you so you can feed what builds you. Think of your energy as water. If it's constantly dripping toward the past, your present will always stay dry. But once you seal those leaks, your emotional tank starts to fill, and that's when you rise again. Most men crave closure, but closure isn't something she gives you. It's something you create when you stop bleeding energy into memories that don't serve you. Every time you resist the urge to check her profile, you reclaim a little bit more of your strength. Every time you focus on your growth instead of her updates, you shift the power dynamic back to you. So remember this, your next level starts the moment you stop feeding the last one. Emotional leaks keep you small, distracted, and weak. But when you seal them shut, you become dangerous, in control, focused, and free. And that's when the universe starts sending you people who match the man you've become, not the boy who couldn't let go. Point 4. Rebuild your value from the ground up. When a breakup hits, it doesn't just take away a relationship. It often takes your confidence with it. You start doubting yourself, questioning your worth, replaying moments wondering if you were enough. That's the trap, because once you let someone else define your value, you give them power over your future. The truth is, your worth was never tied to her approval. It was tied to your standards, your energy, your purpose. And now it's time to rebuild all of that from the ground up. Most men try to move on without rebuilding. They distract themselves, fake confidence, or jump into something new before fixing the cracks inside. That's why they keep attracting the same type of person, because their foundation never changed. You can't attract better until you become better, and becoming better starts with self-respect. You rebuild it by setting boundaries, by saying no to what drains you, by not chasing what left. Every decision that protects your peace raises your value. This is where discipline comes in. You rebuild your body, your finances, your mindset. You stop skipping workouts, stop wasting nights scrolling, stop living like your best days are behind you. You start living like a man who's building an empire, not to prove something to your ex, but to prove something to yourself. Because when you upgrade your lifestyle, your circle, your routine, you silently announce to the world, I've leveled up. And here's the beauty. When you rebuild your value, attraction stops being something you chase. It becomes something you command. The way you walk, talk, and move changes. People feel it before you even speak. You become the kind of man who doesn't need to say he's valuable, his presence says it for him. And when that happens, you don't attract out of loneliness, you attract out of strength. So understand this. Your breakup didn't lower your value. It exposed where it needed reinforcement. Use that awareness to rebuild smarter, stronger, sharper. Because when your confidence comes from within, no rejection can shake it again. The man who rebuilds his value after loss doesn't just get someone better, he becomes someone untouchable. Point 5. Stop looking back. Start moving with purpose. The hardest part of any breakup isn't losing the person, it's breaking the habit of looking back. The late-night memories, the urge to check her updates, the constant mental reruns of how things used to be. That's not love anymore, that's emotional addiction. You're hooked on the story, not the reality. And as long as you keep looking in the rearview mirror, you'll miss every opportunity waiting on the road ahead. The truth is, no great man ever built his future staring at his past. Every time you think about what could have been, you're wasting energy that could be building what will be. Every minute you spend wondering if she's thinking about you is a minute stolen from your mission. You want to attract someone better? Then start living like a man who's already outgrown his past. Stop reliving it. Because moving on isn't about forgetting, it's about outgrowing. You evolve so far beyond who you were in that relationship that going back would feel like lowering your standards. That's how true healing looks. Here's the secret. Direction kills distraction. When your purpose is strong enough, you don't have time to chase ghosts. Fill your schedule with goals, challenges, and ambitions that pull you forward. Wake up early. Build your craft. Sharpen your mind. When your life becomes full again, the past automatically fades because there's no room left for it. The man with purpose doesn't need closure. His mission is his closure. He's too focused on where he's going to care about who stayed behind. And here's what happens next. The more you move with purpose, the more attractive you become, not just to women, but to life itself. New opportunities appear. New energy surrounds you. You stop chasing validation and start creating momentum, and that momentum is magnetic. People can feel it when they meet you. They sense drive, focus, and strength. That's what makes someone better gravitate toward you. So stop looking back. You can't rewrite your past, but you can reinvent your future. Every time you catch yourself reminiscing, remind yourself, that chapter ended so a new one could begin. The man who keeps his eyes forward is the man who attracts forward. And once you start moving with purpose, your past will stop haunting you because your future will start calling louder. Point 6. Become the person you wanted them to be. This is where most men fail. They want someone better, but they never become better themselves. They want loyalty, but still flirt with distractions. They want depth, but still live on the surface. They want love that feels real, but still carry the same habits that ruined the last one. Here's the truth most won't tell you. You attract what you are. If your last relationship was built on insecurity, chaos, or emotional dependence, you'll repeat that cycle until you change you. You can't meet a higher quality person while staying at a lower quality level of discipline, mindset, and energy. So ask yourself, what kind of partner do you actually want? Someone confident, loyal, emotionally grounded? Then build those qualities inside yourself first, because you can only recognize and keep what you already embody. When you start living with integrity, honesty, peace, and purpose, your frequency shifts. You stop attracting chaos and start magnetizing maturity. That's not magic, it's alignment. People at peace attract others who value peace. People chasing goals attract others who move with ambition. Energy always seeks its equal. This phase is about turning inward and upgrading your operating system. Become more patient, sharpen your communication, control your emotions instead of letting them control you. Focus on your health, your finances, your discipline, and your sense of calm. Because confidence isn't loud, it's consistency. When you move with structure and peace, people feel it before they even know you. That's what separates you from every man still drowning in his breakup. You've evolved. And here's the beautiful twist. Once you become the person you wanted them to be, you'll realize you don't need anyone to complete you. You choose someone to complement you. That's when real attraction begins. That's when someone better enters your life, not to fix your wounds, but to grow with your strength. You stop settling for potential because you've become the standard. So understand this, the universe doesn't give you what you wish for. It gives you what you're ready for. If you want someone better, become someone who demands better without saying a word. Upgrade yourself so deeply that your old type can't even recognize you. That's not revenge, it's evolution. And once you reach that level, you'll realize your breakup didn't ruin you, it refined you. Point 7, let go completely. That's when you attract better. The final step isn't the easiest, but it's the most powerful. If you truly want to attract someone better after a breakup, you must let go completely. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Not half-heartedly, not "I'm over them," while still checking their stories. Real letting go means you no longer react to their name, their silence, or their existence. It means you've reached a point where your peace matters more than your past. That's when your energy becomes magnetic, because nothing is weighing it down anymore. Most people think letting go is about forgetting someone. It's not. It's about freeing yourself from the emotional gravity that kept you small. When you still hold resentment, you're tied to them. When you still need closure, you're tied to them. When you still hope they'll see your progress, you're tied to them. The irony is, the moment you truly stop caring, when you genuinely wish them well and move on without bitterness, that's when life starts rewarding you with people who match your healed energy. Letting go is not weakness, it's emotional mastery. It says, I no longer need the past to validate my worth. That kind of detachment radiates strength, and strength attracts quality. The woman who once broke you was part of your growth arc, not your destination. You learned what you needed to learn. Now it's time to release it. Holding on blocks the blessings waiting for you. Letting go opens the door for something far greater. And here's the truth. Real love only finds you when you're no longer chasing it. When your energy is calm, your heart is full, and your focus is forward, you stop hunting for attention. You attract alignment. You stop begging for connection. You become connection. And that shift doesn't just bring someone better into your life, it brings the right one. So remember this, the moment you stop clinging to what hurt you, you rise into what heals you. The universe always replaces loss with growth, but only if you make space for it. Let go completely. Let peace take the place of pain. Because the man who no longer holds on to his past is the man who finally becomes magnetic to his future. Conclusion. Now you know the truth about attracting someone better after a breakup. It's never about finding them. It's about becoming the person who naturally pulls them in. You don't rush to replace, you rebuild. You don't drown in pain, you turn it into power. You don't cling to the past, you seal the emotional leaks and move forward with purpose. You rise from heartbreak by rebuilding your value, not begging for validation. Because when you elevate your energy, your standards rise, and your entire reality shifts with it. Every gym session, every quiet night of discipline, every boundary you set, every moment you choose peace over reaction, it's all adding layers to the man you're becoming. And when that transformation is complete, you won't chase love anymore. Love will chase you, because the healed, grounded, and focused version of you carries an energy that can't be ignored. The breakup was never the end. It was the beginning of your evolution. So let go fully, detach without hate, move forward without looking back. Because when you finally stop needing the past, the future will send you something that matches your growth, not your wounds. That's not rebound energy, that's rebirth energy. And that's when someone truly better finds you.